The fact of the matter is, whether you've been in network marketing for years or just a few days, your family and friends have seen your opportunity and your phone is, as we call it, burnt. If you're anything like me, that's a scary thought. So the big question is, how do entrepreneurs like us, who love the network marketing profession, who no longer want to be that guy, and are tired of convincing people during uncomfortable let's get coffee meetings where they say, what's this all about? How do we market in a way that aligns us with our dream clients and expands our network of upfront and transparent professionals, allowing us to get our time back, our families back, and gain a real passive asset? People like us who value impact over income, we deserve to see our visions once and for all. Join me in this podcast where we'll uncover just how to do that. My name is Eric Sablon. Welcome to Burnt Phone Marketing. What's going on, guys? Eric Sablon with Burnt Phone Marketing here, and I'm super excited. I've got an amazing guest, and we literally were roommates at two 10X conferences. We, came from grassroots guys, but his story, the story that he came up in the last 24 months will blow your mind, and it's all about consistency. It's all about, he is the epitome of consistency. He came from the car industry, the car sales industry. He is been working on social media. He's created an HVAC marketing strategy system, but not only did he do that, the guy didn't even know what HVAC was a year ago. And he is one of the kings of the category in social media for HVAC. He's the chairman and CEO of Double X Digital, and he's got a ton of stuff coming down. So please give a warm welcome to Mr. Jose Sanchez. Welcome to the show, Jose.
Hey, thank you so much for having me, man. I appreciate it. I look forward to bringing some value to your audience. And at the end of the day, my goal here is to lead with some value and make sure that whoever does listen to this walks away better than when they got to this podcast. So I appreciate that. Yes, sir.
Well, we know that you're going to leave us with a ton of value, because we were just chatting just before this, and we know that you have so much in your story and so many things that I want to talk about. But what I want to do is actually just kind of bring us back 3 years ago.
Oh my God.
Bring us back 3 years ago, because I think that's when your journey started. You reached out, you kind of got some mentorship. Bring us back to 3 years ago, and then what has happened in your entrepreneur business? What has happened in your entrepreneur life? What has happened to you in the last 36 months? Because this story, guys, he is compressed time frames, and I'm going to let him talk about how he compressed time frames and why it's making it so much easier for him to excel and put gas on his business. So tell us a little bit about the story.
Yeah, for sure, man.
36 months ago.
If we were going back 3 years ago, it's 2021. We'll go back to 2018. Eric and I, that's when we first got introduced to each other. I was in the car business. I was selling cars for GM, working at a local dealership in Alaska. I started understanding the sales to a greater extent. We were going to conference like the Grant Cardone 10X Gold Conference. We were getting mentorship. We were starting to pick up traction. We're starting to educate ourselves. And at that time, things weren't like all great. We're living in a place where it's extremely cold, number one. There's always challenges to come up. And hey, I wasn't winning in life as much as I am today, but I was trying my best. And I came to realize in life that there's always going to be struggles and challenges and hurdles to overcome. And it doesn't necessarily get easier. You just get better. And the challenges just seem like they're easier, but it's because you've gotten the skills and you get better and better as you go. So at that time, I wasn't, I was selling cars. I was making money. But in life, I wasn't winning. And there's a lot of areas of life. And, fast forward a bit further, Eric and I continued our friendship. He's doing his thing. I'm doing my thing. We're both winning in some areas of life. And I'm speaking about myself. Eric's always won. But at that time when I made a decision last year, so I'm going to fast forward a little bit of the story because that's where it gets good. Eric and I, we both shared a room in Vegas at Mandalay Bay. And we were at the 10X Grown Conference. I don't know if I had COVID, guys. This is the time when COVID came out. I was super sick at that time. And I missed most of the event. Eric came back in the room around 3 o'clock. I was already in bed, coughing, sick. So I missed that event. But the important part of sharing this here with you is that During that event, after the event ended, I had a company that had been trying to like relentlessly recruit me for like 2 years now. So while they were at the event, they took the opportunity to take me out to dinner. Again, remember, I was sick. I was super sick. And they took me out to dinner. I got a few drinks in me, and it was a lot easier to me to make a decision, which was a crazy decision. The decision was this: move away from Alaska, 4,000 miles south, to a state that I didn't really care for, which is Texas. Move to a city, Dallas, and work for them. And we had a 24-month contract. And I was projected to make, multiple six figures with commissions and base salary. And 2 weeks after I moved from Alaska, guys, this is what happens. I decided to make that commitment to that company. So I moved from Alaska to Dallas, Texas. 2 weeks later, that opportunity came to a dead end, and it was a complete failure, right? So it didn't work out. And it wasn't their fault. It wasn't my fault. It was the COVID thing happened, and it shut the business down. It didn't work out. I then had to pivot, and I had to start over. At the time, just like anyone else, I was pissed. I was angry. I was like, I can't believe this is happening. Diversity started coming in, and it was just not a good place in my life, Eric. Early 2020. Most people in that time, Eric, if you remember, everybody had a problem. Everybody was struggling. Their business wasn't able to function. Money was starting to become a problem. Groceries weren't even available. Toilet paper was like, it wasn't even around. So everybody had problems at this time. So what I did, I took about a month to myself, and I was depressed. I was sad. I was angry, and I was just pissed off at life. But I took that time to myself, and I remember, because I've been to a lot of educational programs like the Tony Robbins event and the Grant Cardones and whatnot. And I remember that Tony said one day, he said, it's not what happens to you in life. It's what you do with what happens is going to determine your outcome. So I took that piece of advice and I sat down, and I was like, what am I going to do with my life? At that time, I had no direction. I was in a new city. I had just met my girlfriend, and I didn't know where I was going to end up. So check this out. This is where the story starts getting good. Okay. I had an idea. One morning I woke up and I said, hey, I want to run Facebook ads. I want to run Facebook ads for businesses, and I want to help them get more business, more traffic in their doors. See, at this time, I didn't know what a Facebook ad was supposed to be like. I didn't know how to set it up. I didn't know anything. But I had the idea, and in my mind, it never went away. Keep in mind, at this time, I have money, but I don't have any new income coming in. So I was going to go broke. So I started looking for jobs. I applied to 3 jobs. I applied at a Toyota dealership that hired me on the spot. I applied at a smaller dealership that also hired me on the spot. And then I applied at a 3rd place. And you might ask, well, why are you applying all these places they're hiring? Because I wasn't taking the jobs. I applied, and then I felt bad, and then I left, and I told them I declined the offer very kindly. The last place I applied was at this one, they sold mobile homes, like new homes. And anyway, the guy offered me $150,000 a year. And guys, $150,000 a year, most people don't make that type of money unless you're an entrepreneur. If you're an employee of W-2, unless you got a degree or you got a kick-ass job, you ain't making 150 grand. You just ain't. Most people don't ever get to make more than 100 grand. And when you make that, you never make more because you get comfortable and you just get complacent. So that's what happens with a lot of people. They just get recycled back into that lifestyle. So anyway, I turned him down very kindly, and I went home with nothing. And what happened was this idea of running Facebook ads didn't go away. So crazy enough, that same day I go home and I get hit with an advertisement that says, learn how to create your own marketing advertisement business. So I did. I signed up for it like a sucker because I'm one of those guys. You show me something cool and I'll buy it from you. I'm just that person. I don't got to think about it or talk to anybody. I just buy stuff on the spot because I make decisions on the spot. But anyhow, I signed up for this program. Long story short, I ended up making a $10,000 investment to get into it. At that time, I was scared. I was intimidated. I didn't know if I was going to work out. And fast forward 4 months later, we started creating a business, a real business. We signed up with the LLCs. We started getting traction, and nobody wanted to do business with us because we didn't know what we were doing. And as we went into the business, we're still very young in the business. We're only about 8 months into it. We work with over 120 HVAC companies across the nation. We just expanded to Canada. We have clients in Canada now. So we are a international company based out of Dallas, Texas. And dude, it has been a journey. Well, we're on pace to do $2 million this year and plus. So it's been a freaking crazy journey, all from home, working from my living room. I have employees all over the world. I have employees in Venezuela. I have employees in India. I have employees in the Philippines and all over the US. Dude, it's been a ride, dude. It's been a crazy, crazy, crazy ride with a whole bunch of obstacles to overcome.
So, like, take me back to that story. So the funny thing was you're like me, you're a buyer. And when you see something that you like, you're like, all right, that makes sense. I'm sold. I'm dialed in. I'm going to push all my chips. I'm going to go all in. Yeah. And that's one of the things that I really loved about when we hung out together and when we talked is like, you put the blinders on and you focus. Yeah. And I want to ask you a question, like, because there's so many people that get shiny object syndrome. Like, I'm going to try this one. I'm going to try that one. I'm going to try this one. I'm going to try this one. And they never actually dial in a core offer. They never dial in what they're going to do. When they become an entrepreneur, they're going to be like, I'm going to do ads, but then I'm also going to do this. And if someone needs a funnel, then I'll do this. And if someone needs this, I'll do this. Yeah. When you put those blinders on, tell me what happened to the business that you started creating when you put the blinders on and you actually had that crazy core offer. Like, what happened to your business? Like, this is the only thing that I'm talking about.
Great question, man. So at the beginning, I didn't know how to create the offer. So I was just throwing stuff in the wall, hoping it stuck. And nobody wanted to buy from me, man. Like I was coming to people and be like, hey, I have this great opportunity. If I'll do it for free, even if you don't pay me, if you see any value, you can pay me. Then people are like, hey, man, we're not interested. So many people shut me down. However, I kept on trying. And eventually I created something that was good. And when I did that, I realized it was good because the first day that I rolled out the offer, I made $20,000 in profit. And I was like, damn, dude, this is going to work. Right. And
it takes one, right?
It only takes one. And once I figured it out, that offer was just so attractive and people were gravitating towards it, I just started pushing my energy, my resources, and my money right behind that offer. And I got it in front of so many people that it made sense. But the reason that I was able to focus, one, I seen that we had traction behind it. And number two, I only focus on revenue generating activities. That's it. Mm-hmm. I did not focus on, hey, what should I post on social media? The other, I wasn't focused on anything other than generating money.
That is a salesman out of a salesman. Like, you're only focused on, like, how many clients can I get in front of? If I get in front of 6 clients, am I going to get this? What's the ROI on every single client? And that brings me to another question that I'm off script right now. Sure. But, so Marcus Lemonis, I follow Marcus Lemonis 100%. Like, I love the guy. He's the producer of he's on the show The Prophet. Yeah. He said, if you don't know your numbers, you don't know your business.
Yeah, 100%.
How important is that to an aspiring entrepreneur to understand his numbers? Because a lot of times, again, we're going into like core offer. A lot of times people justify their numbers with a bunch of feelings.
Yeah. Don't make decisions on feelings. Make decisions on data, on real things that you can look at. So there's a lot of numbers. I mean, we can talk about money. We can talk about KPIs. We can talk about sales. There's a lot of different numbers. For me, one of my biggest numbers, there's been profitability and then my closing rate. Like, I've been looking at, hey, not how many people opt into the funnel. I didn't care about any of that. The only thing I care about is if you did opt into a funnel, did you schedule an appointment? If you schedule an appointment, did I close you? Because I didn't care about any of that. Like, at the end of the day, there's so many things that we can lost in the entrepreneurial world, especially if you're in the online space. You can get lost in hundreds of different channels because there's so many things going on every day. And if you own a business or if you're planning on owning a business one day, there's 250 moving parts every single day. And what I want you to take away from this is the most important thing is what you're doing generating new money. Because if it's not, then you need to focus your attention and regroup your attention in different activities that are going to get the ball rolling in the right direction. The way that I approach money, Eric, is on defense. Like, I'm never on offense. I'm always on offense. I'm never on defense. Like, I'm not trying to save money. I'm trying to figure out, hey, how can I store enough money so I can go make a move? Right. Like, I'm not trying to save it and chill and like go hang out with my friends. I'm trying to save it and then expand. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You come from the school of Grant Cardone.
And like, he's inspired me to do so much, but I've taken this stuff and I not only listened to it, but I've applied it. And that's the difference between a lot of people. You can learn any piece of information, but information without being applied, dude, is worthless, bro.
And so what would you say to, that's perfect. That cues up. So we talked about money, we talked about vision, we talked about focus, and that tees up an amazing thing. Because what would you talk about the guy that just, what would you say to the guy, entrepreneur, walks in your door, he's got enough money, he's not comfortable, he's still aspiring to do something better and be better and create a business.
Yeah.
But he keeps like just throwing money at like the next thing, and then the next thing, like just keeps throwing money at it and just learning. Like, I'm just going to learn, but I'm not going to apply. What would you, I mean, besides smacking him in his head and taking his credit card?
Yeah,
that's what I would do first. But what would be your coaching to him, like one-on-one, maybe group coaching? What would be your coaching on him to get him to stop just throwing money at his problem, but actually taking action to create a result?
Yeah, so that's a great question. And there's somebody out there that's listening to this, or that will listen to this, that will get this information. I hope that you can apply it. Number one thing I would say is you got to understand your outcome. Because if you don't know your outcome, you're always going to be running in different directions without really understanding where you want to end up. So understanding your outcome is one, getting enough focus for you not to get distracted when the next thing comes up. Because there's always going to be opportunities. To me, opportunities, Eric, are like buses. When one leaves, another one comes. So that's life. It happens to you every day. So if there's somebody out there that is just continuously throwing money at stuff and not really figuring it out what's going to work for you, niche down. Figure out one thing and just get so good at that one thing that you become a master. And to that point you do that, then there's no point for you to start anything else. So niche down, focus, and really understand the outcome that you want out of that.
Dude, niching down is huge. Again, it goes back to core offer. It goes back to like literally selling one thing. When you get the one thing that you can sell, the one thing that you can really push on, the one thing that you can stand behind and defend, that's really what happens to get you going. Now, I'm going to go back because we talked about like throwing money at coaching programs and throwing money at, the problems. What do you feel coaching has done for you in the past 2 years? Like, what do you feel like coaching is like expanded, connected, that like in your own words, what is like investing in coaching and being in the right rooms done for you and your business?
Yeah, great question. See, today's day and age, we live in a world where everybody calls themselves a coach and everybody wants to teach you something. So I'm very, very careful who I take advice from. I only take advice from people that are further ahead in life, and I want to be in their shoes. I don't take advice from somebody that is not doing where I want to be, right? So that's number one thing about coaching. Has it helped me? I've invested, just last year alone in 2020, I put over $40,000 out of pocket into coaching. And it's not just like, hey, I'm going to get in a coaching program, they're going to teach me some cool shit. No, it's like, hey, we figure out we want to end up in this place. We hire somebody that's already there, and we ask them to teach us how to get to where he's at. Okay.
That right there, that like mindset going into coaching, it's like on-time coaching. It's like, where's my problem? Where's my struggle? I'm going to go find that person. Like a hitting coach or any sport, like a shooting coach or a training coach. You find a specialist inside your niche.
That's right.
Where you're struggling, and you say, that's where I want to go. Take me there. Can you take me there? Yes, I can. What's my workload? God, that is a nugget. Guys, if you didn't write that one down, that is a nugget. But keep going, because I know.
So, I mean, like I said, pick your mentors and be careful who you listen to, because everybody wants to give you advice, but most people haven't done the work to give you the advice, right? So the people that have done the work and they're credible and are where you want to be, that's the people I take advice from. So, for example, we talked briefly about Grant Cardone. I've taken his advice because I know that the guy's been where I wanted to be at some point in life. So I've listened to it. I not only listened, I practiced, I rehearsed it, and I drilled it, and then I applied it. And so the information that I've learned from many coaches, I mean, I got a lot of coaches today. I have coaches that teach me about life. I got coaches that teach me about business, finances. Like now I hire specialist that specializes in certain areas of life that I want to learn. And then I just ask him to teach me, hey, dude, how do you handle relationships? Like that's a new part of my life. Like now I'm in a relationship, and like, how do you balance life and work? And the guy told me, he says, there is no balance. There's only harmony. So when you can, find something to be to the harmony in between your business and your life and bring it together.
No balance, just harmony.
That's right. And this is coming from somebody that's generating $10 million in annual income per year, right?
Because you know who to listen to.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. So I'm very selective, man. I won't take advice from everybody, and I don't even ask for advice. So there's a lot of people that are trying to give me advice. It doesn't work, man. You know. Mm-hmm. So I'm very selective on that end. So if for any reason there's somebody out there that's struggling, you know, there's a lot of free information out there. YouTube is a university itself. Shit.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
So that's huge, man. We're like, I got a couple. So tell us a little bit about more. Tell us a little bit more about you're the CEO and chairman of a company, and that you've created. That when we were on the phone earlier, we were just chatting, and you told me like you've systematized so many things.
Yeah, that's right.
Tell me when you saw that, you know what, I need to like systematize things. I don't want to be in my business. I want to work my business. I don't want my business to work me. I want to work my business in a way where I'm moving the parts around that need to be moved around versus I'm like in the trenches doing it. Nothing wrong with being in the trenches, guys. I'm saying nothing wrong with being in the trenches, but Jose has moved himself to a different location. Yeah. And now he oversees and he does a lot more 30,000 foot view. So when did you see that the transition was coming, and how did you transition from, getting dirty to still getting dirty, but really moving the parts around?
Yeah, great question. So I want the audience to keep something in mind. I went from a W-2 employee that was making six figures, close to multiple six figures in the car business, to working from home, which is totally different, and starting a business that I had no idea how to even start. So you're going from an employee to a company owner, really an employee of the company at that time. And it took me a while, Eric, to systematize everything, but I'll share with you kind of how it happened. First, I started making money. I started bringing in clients. I started servicing somebody. I started offering a solution to somebody's problem, got paid for it, compensated. And then I figured out, how can I make this bigger to the point where I'm solving so many problems that I'm getting paid a lot more money, right? And that was a struggle, because a lot of people get caught up in 1 to 5 clients, and they're like, hey, I'm going to give these clients the best results ever. And they never really scale. So it goes back to your question as far as scaling. Like, you can't scale with 5 clients. Yeah. You can't scale with 10 clients. So what I did, I was like, hey, I might not be able to provide these guys exceptional life-changing results right now. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to focus on bringing a whole bunch of people, taking this business model idea that I have and using it with them and making sure that it works and tweaking it as we go. There was a point in time that there were so much fires happening every single day that I realized, hey, if I continue doing this, I'm going to be out of business soon. I don't know about you, but there's a lot of issues that come up in the marketing world. Hey, this doesn't work, or hey, we got to tweak this. Clients are mad. They want their money back. Like, I've been through all of that. The day that I realized I had to systematize and automate the agency was when I brought on a business partner. There was a time when I think it was in 1 month, we sold it I sold $30,000 in net revenue and net profit worth of clients. And then I got stuck, guys, because of fulfillment. There's another thing. You can sell, but if you don't have your fulfillment in order, when I started, my fulfillment pipe was this big. When I brought on my business partner, my fulfillment pipe was like this big. So I could shove more things through it. And we realize about automations, right? So we have, everything's automated for us. Client comes in, the onboarding, the launch of our clients, meaning we take them in, we provide them a service. That service is all automated for the majority of the part. We haven't lost the human touch, but the point when you want to automate it is as soon as you start having too much on your plate. When you start realizing, hey, it's more than I can handle, start automating it. And there's some automation geniuses out there. If you contact me, I connect you with a few of them. I'm friends. Eric's one of them. He knows how to do this himself. But you need to automate it. You can't do this all yourself. And another thing is, if you're not going to automate it, find yourself a team. Right? You can't wear all the hats. You see my hat here? You guys know what this stands for, and I hope the audience doesn't get offended. Can I share this with them, Eric?
Go ahead.
So there's a lot of people that tell me, oh, this is impossible. I don't know how to do this. And I always share, and I go back to this. One of my coaches brought this to my attention when he brought me on as a student. And he says, if you're going to be my student, you need to live by this. And what this FYE stands for, it stands for fuck your excuses. Because everybody has them, but nobody cares to go around them. So today, I don't make excuses. We just get shit done, guys.
And that is like, if you guys listen to what he's saying and how he's saying it, he is creating that leadership. He is creating that vision. His title of liberty is there. F your excuses, you know, whatever, insert whatever it is. He has a title of liberty that says, you know what, we're going to do it. We're just going to do it and we're going to get it done. And that's the problem with a lot of entrepreneurs right now. They're like stuck in excuse land. Excuse land. If you're an entrepreneur, you got to get out of excuse land, because the excuses are like, I had a teacher that said, your excuses are mountains of nothingness. Yeah. Nothing can get done. Nothing can get done. So, man, this was a phenomenal. This is a phenomenal. I'm just going to let you like riff for a little bit. Do you have any more bombs that you would like to share with the audience? Just like anything that you would say, like you got to live by, or something like that you can share with the audience, because then I got one more question for you.
Yeah, well, I mean, you got to live, you got to create your life. At the end of the day, when I realized I was in the steering wheel, I was like, man, I'm letting somebody else drive my vehicle. I got to let them get off of it, because I had a lot of people influencing me at one point in life, Eric, and I think that was keeping me down. And these people have great hearts, they have great intentions, but they're thinking too small. So the moment in my life when I realized that the friends and environment that I was surrounded by was keeping me down. See, a long time ago, I realized that you become a product of the environment you're in. So the day that I could extract myself from an environment that was keeping me short of my potential is the day that I really excelled and started prospering in life. So you might have a girlfriend, you might have a wife, you might have a spouse that's telling you, hey, you're doing good with what you're doing, and realize deep inside that you want more. And somebody that you might be going to sleep with tonight is telling you something else. There's going to come a point, either you're going to outgrow them or you're going to grow with them, but you can't do both. So be very careful of who you surround yourself and the advice that you take from people. But I think that was one of the key things that have helped me put myself in a position of freedom. Like right now, Eric, this is not to joke around or to show off, but if I wanted to leave my house right now, go to another country, another state, vacation for 10 days and get off the grid, my business will still thrive. I'll leave this here with you. If you own a business and it stops making money when you stop working, you don't have a business, you have a job.
That is huge. That all rolls back to automation. That all rolls back to systems. That all rolls back to leadership. So if you don't have leadership, systems, automation in your business, like Jose said, you got a job. You might as well just have a job. So I always say this is the last, and I think we already kind of went over it with the hat, but I'm gonna tell you. So I want you to think of this. I asked this to a lot of my my guests. You're at the largest event in your industry. The king, you're the king of this industry. Yeah. You're the Sunday speaker. So you're the reason why everybody came.
Yeah.
You're the main person on the front of the banners.
Okay.
You just delivered your keynote with over 200,000 people in the stands, in the audience. When you stand up, when they stand up and they turn around and they look at the sign that has your face on it that says 10X Growth Con or whatever it is, what is the one phrase or one concept that you want them to remember Jose Sanchez by?
That's a freaking awesome, great question. It's going to require some little soap in here. Okay. By the way, he didn't tell me he was going to ask me this, so I wasn't prepared. I think one of the things that I want to be remembered by is overcoming adversity, man. Like I've overcame so much shit. I shouldn't be in the place I'm at, dude. Immigrant kid, born and raised in Mexico, come over here. Obviously my name is very popular. My name is very, very popular, and most people have it, but I'm not a common person, guys. So one of the things I want to be remembered is overcoming adversity, because I've overcame some things that most people give up on. And I know that's not very impactful because people don't know my story as far as some of the things I've been. But God damn, I've been kicked around left and right. And as soon as I get back up, I get punched in the face again.
No, overcoming adversity is you'll wrap that in some IP and put some Jose Sanchez around that. That's all I know. It's like literally there'll be some IP around that and you'll wrap some Jose Sanchez around.
Yeah, I love it.
The last question I want to ask is, I know you have a coaching program. I know you have, double X, your industry, your company.
Yeah.
Tell us who that helps and who that's perfect for.
Yeah, I love that, man. I appreciate you bringing that up. So we own a company. It's a digital marketing company, and we specialize in serving the HVAC industry, residential HVAC companies specifically. And what we do is we provide marketing services for them in the area of branding and lead generation. We have way too many people to count how many. It's over 100 right now of companies that we're doing this for. And what we became is basically the virtual CMO, virtual marketing chief officer for them. And it's amazing. I mean, we come into their companies and what we do is we provide them opportunities to get in front of more people. See, Eric, from my experience, the more hands you shake, the more money you make. So all I got to do is get you in front of more people, man.
Oh, man.
These companies, I just got them in front of more people, and I don't care if your closing rate sucks. If I can get you in front of 10 people every single day, you're destined to close somebody by mistake.
Oh, man.
So we solved a problem. Most people, especially right now during COVID, right? My job is to drive traffic into stores, into your house, whatever it is that you're doing, whatever kind of business. So I drive traffic to people that want to get in front of customers. That's what we do, man.
And you've become the king of that category, which is awesome, guys. Just listen to what Jose said was, the more hands you shake, the more money you make. Guys, live by that. And I mean, I know maybe it's the COVID elbow, whatever it is, but he's talking about getting in front of people. Yes. And that's what his company does. That's what his company specializes in. So, man, Jose, this was an amazing interview. I'm super excited. I'm actually going to drop some in the show notes. I'm actually going to drop your website, so that way if anyone wants to connect with Jose, you can just fill out his form, book a call, because you're gonna hit his metric. So make sure you book a call with him, chat with him, and I know a guy like Jose with the heart on his sleeve, the knowledge that he has, and the impact that he's making right now will take your business to the next level. So thank you, Jose. Appreciate that, guys. And I'll see all of you on the next episode of Burnt Phone Marketing Radio. Thanks for listening to another episode of Burnt Phone Marketing Radio. This is host Eric Sablon, and I just did a mastermind. And if you're listening to this after April 16th, unfortunately you missed the live masterclass. However, as a gift to you and a gift to my loyal listeners, I'm going to give you the replays of the sections that I created for this mastermind. So if you go to www.btumastermind.com/replays, I will actually give you the 4 sections of the mastermind that I did. So that's www.btumastermind.com/replay. We will see you on the next episode of Burnt Phone Marketing Radio.